Russian troops crossed into Ukraine from Kursk region.
South Korea's first sitting president to go on criminal trial.
Nghệ province to focus on public investment disbursement in 2025.
You're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Ha Zhang, your host. The Russian army has launched a massive counter-offensive across the border of Kursk province and entered Sumy province in Ukrainian territory, marking the first ground incursion into Ukraine's Sumy region since Russia's withdrawal war in 2022.
This statement was made by Russian President Putin while inspecting a drone manufacturing facility in St. Petersburg. He reported that the 810th Brigade has crossed the Kursk border and entered Ukraine's Sumy province, which borders Russia. If successful, Russia would not only cut off the retreat and resupply routes for Ukrainian troops in Kursk but also progress toward a broader goal of establishing a buffer zone on the other side of the border or even taking full control of Sumy province. This attack comes just one day after the first talk between the US and Russia since President Trump took office. Experts warn that any Russian attempt to gain more territory in Ukraine will mark a new escalation in the conflict, especially as US President Trump is urgently pushing for an end to hostilities in Ukraine.
On February the 20th, 2025, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol became the first sitting president to appear in court in a criminal case related to the martial law issued on December the 3rd last year.
The trial takes place in the Seoul Central District Court. Drawing significant public attention, prosecutors accused Yoon of leading a rebellion plot. However, his lawyers argued that the investigation lacks legal grounding and emphasized that declaring martial law is within his rights as the head of state. On the same day, the South Korean Constitutional Court is considering whether to officially remove President Yoon following his impeachment by the National Assembly in December 2024. The 10th hearing in the impeachment case occurs on the afternoon of February 20th. Only a few hours after the criminal court session. If Yoon is ousted, South Korea will hold a new presidential election within 60 days.
As the 9th extraordinary session, the National Assembly approved many significant decisions, including strategic infrastructure projects of the Laogai-Hanoi-Haiphong Railway and the Ningbo nuclear power plant.
The National Assembly adopted a resolution on the investment policy of the Laogai, Hanoi, Haiphong Railway project with an estimated total investment of over 203 trillion Vietnamese dongs. The railway stretches approximately 390.9 kilometers, passing through 9 provinces and cities, connecting key economic regions of the country. Additionally, the National Assembly approved a resolution to pilot a special mechanism for developing urban rail systems in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, with specific regulations on allocating public investment from local budgets. Another important decision was the Ninh Thuan nuclear power project with the implementation of special mechanisms and policies to attract investment. These decisions are expected to enhance national infrastructure development, improve living quality, and contribute to the sustainable development of the country.
Coming up next are some updated news.
Provincial Party Secretary Nguyen Duc Trung is on a visit to check the progress of housing construction and repairs for people having meritorious contribution in poor households in the mountain districts. In Kai Chau District, the secretary required the district to implement programs with the highest determination and conduct thorough reviews to ensure that no beneficiaries are overlooked. So far, the district has completed 1063 houses, achieving 64.7% of the goal. 579 houses to be built, including 415 new constructions and 164 repairs. On the morning of February 20th, the provincial party secretary, along with a working group, also inspected the implementation progress in Kai Hop district. Previously, he visited Kaifong district and urged local leaders to focus on completing the construction and repair of 508 houses for people having meritorious contribution in poor households before July 31st. 2025.
By the end of November 2024, that people's deposits in the banking system exceeded 7 quadrillion VND, the highest level ever recorded. In November only, people sent an additional 22 trillion Vietnamese dongs to credit institutions. Banks mobilized over 468 trillion Vietnamese dongs in the first 11 months of the year, with a growth rate of 6.26% from economic organizations. To attract capital, many banks have raised savings interest rates to 4.75% per annum. Total credit outstanding across the system reached over 15 million trillion VND, increasing nearly 12% compared to the previous year.
The Ministry of Industry and Trade announced that processed chicken from Vietnam could be licensed for official export to Singapore this year, after the Singapore Food Agency, SFA, surveyed chicken processing plants in Vietnam and praised the production technology. The evaluation process will continue at the end of February. If all goes well, Vietnamese chicken could be officially exported to Singapore in 2025.
This year, Nghệ An's People Committee is tasked with disbursing the budget capital of over 10,000 billion VND, including over 4 and 710 billion VND managed by the province. Recognizing that this is the last year of the term, from the beginning of the year, all sectors and localities have set out a roadmap to strive for the highest completion of disbursement goals, contributing to the socio-economic development targets set.
In 2024, Yen Tan is one of 4 districts in Nghệ An that completed 100% of the provincial budget allocation plan with nearly 115 trillion Vietnamese dongs. This is a motivation for Yen Tan district to accelerate disbursement speed in 2025.
Public investment disbursement is one of the key tasks to enhance resource efficiency and promote economic growth. So, in the first 6 months of the year, the district will strive for early disbursement and seek additional funding.
After fulfilling the goal of disbursing 100% of public investment in 2024, moving into 2025, the Investment and Construction Project Management Board of Vinh City has been assigned to disburse over 155 trillion Vietnamese dongs for 3 important projects. Along with expediting the construction progress, land clearance for the projects is also being prioritized. The bottleneck is the land clearance work. This has been regularly reported to the City People's Committee to coordinate with relevant units to evaluate and approve the compensation plans. For the transportation sector, this year, over 700 trillion Vietnamese dongs has been allocated for 3 projects. Among them, the coastal road project connecting Ghi Son, Tan Hoa to Kua Lo Nghệ An is striving to complete before the new term of the Provincial Party Congress. The Project Management Board has directed to build detailed planning programs to enhance inspection and coordinate in timely resolving any issues related to construction and public investment disbursement. Public investment disbursement is identified as one of the driving forces for economic growth. Therefore, the completion of public investment disbursement allocated by the government in 2025 will create conditions for Nghệ An province to improve infrastructure and attract other investment sources, aiming for a double-digit GRDP growth rate.
The last news has ended our bulletin today. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.